Welcome to Never Not Sailing. I'm Danielle and this is Tyler, or Captain Woodsy. Our sailing journey began from Adelaide with grand dreams to cross the Great Australian Bight and see how far we could get in a year. Turns out, the Southern Ocean is a fickle beast and we couldn't achieve what we set out to do. So we're on to plan B, which is to explore West Australia by land before heading to Europe to see what kind of mischief we can manage there. Join us every Sunday as the irony of calling ourselves Never Not Sailing grows, because what happens next, nobody knows. Hello, good morning. We are still in Exmouth. We are in Tantabiddi National Park. Cape Range National Park at the Tantabiddi boat ramp. Before I pressed record, I was like, right, where are we? I'm not messing it up this time. Oh, hopefully this is endearing and charming and not just like, I'm going to lose my job. They're like, who is this absolute drop kick?
How is she getting words out to students? This sort of...
Anyway, we're in the national park. Today is a really special day. So Tyler and I are born 50 weeks apart, so there's 2 weeks between our birthdays, and we are here in Exmouth, where it's known for whale shark diving. We're staying with an old pal from Adelaide who is the skipper of a whale shark tour. And so we have booked on to do whale shark diving, and today's the day that we are doing it as a big treat. So it's really expensive, but we have only heard magnificent things. So we're really excited. It's a whole day affair. We're going with 3 Islands tours, I think it's called.
3 Islands, yeah.
3 Islands, whose Tomo works for. So we're on his boat today. And hopefully you'll meet him in a little bit and we'll have a chat and talk about how the whole process works. I was a tour guide once in Europe. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that. And that was stressful enough when we're just like on a bus and driving to different European countries every day. And I was chatting with Tom about it, about the stress of how do you definitively find a whale shark every day for people to be able to dive every single day of the week on tour. So hopefully we'll talk a little bit about that today when we get out there, and then we'll go see some whale sharks. How you feeling, pal?
Excited.
Excited to be turning a year older?
Yeah, well, that's a week away. It's less than a week away. No, this is going to be cool. It's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, well, umming and ahhing, but ultimately we didn't want it to become one of those things where you're like, oh, we'll be back, we'll do it then. So we're taking a big plunge and just dropping the cash.
And I think the opportunity to do it with a mate as a skipper as well is pretty unique too.
Yeah,
so
and Tomo's a legend.
It's gonna be a good thing.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted.
Story, Danielle. What did we hear from Tomo and Zoe yesterday?
I'm hoping you can see those comm towers.
We'll get a bit closer. The story will get us there.
So I need to confess, I've been pretty slack on our Australian travels. I am a history teacher and shit talker extraordinaire, but I'm a history teacher and I haven't really been like delving into the local histories of a lot of the places that we've been going to. Yeah, just really slack. But here in Exmouth, maybe because we're staying with locals and just asking a few more questions, we're talking about like the history of Exmouth because it's a huge tourist town now. But in actual fact, it's got a wild history. It's a really young town. So it was developed in the 1960s as a naval base for the Americans when the Cold War was on. So they wanted a base in the Pacific, and they built these enormous towers for the submarines. It's real overcast, I hope that you can see them.
We'll get closer.
Yeah, so they've got these enormous communication towers which are VLF towers, very low frequency. So these were the largest towers in the Southern Hemisphere at the time that they were built, and there's 6 of them around the world, and between the 6 locations that they're placed, they can hear any submarine submarine around the world of the American naval submarine ships, whatever it's called, which is pretty wild.
To put it into context, the radio that we got on board on our car here, and most cars, is a UHF, so that's ultra high frequency. That means your wavelengths are really short, and your communication range is quite short, so you tend to be only able to talk line of sight. This is very low frequency, which is right at the other end of the frequency scale, and the longer wavelengths means it's able to penetrate more obstructions, and therefore communicate for longer distances.
And deep into the ocean. What did Tomo say? Like,
yeah, it's like 200 meters down, kind of.
What's that?
Communication.
So that's wild that this town was just concocted, and then the other part is that because it was solely Americans who lived here and developed the town, they took a lease up on this land, and I think that they still have it now, but the naval base and all the area around just ran as an American town within the Australian, like, bum F nowhere. So American currency was used, they made a baseball field, they had a bowling alley, they celebrated all of the public holidays popular in the Americas, like Independence Day. They rode on the left-hand side. No, we drive on the left-hand side.
Yeah, they drove on the right.
They drove on the right-hand side of the road, left-hand side steering.
Yeah.
All of the American muscle cars were here. They imported all of their beers, so it was completely Americanified. Yeah,
and you had to have you had to show your passport.
You had to show your passport when you got in. And Harold Holt, who I only knew because he went missing, our Australian Prime Minister, was just really good pals with the American government at the time, and so leased this land, and they lived here as a little American community for years and years, and then they discovered whale sharks in the area, and eventually it transitioned out of, after 9/11, out of a sort of really American naval base into a more touristic place, and now it's a little bohemian beachy town.
Here's a wild theory, right? So Tomo was saying that VLF is similar to the way that whales, so you can see the towers a bit better now, hopefully. He was saying that VLF is the way that whales communicate with each other, and that's why they can communicate over such great distances. And that perhaps this is something of a mating call, or a come here sort of beacon to
a swan song.
A swan song to whale sharks, and that's why there's so many whale sharks around here, and it's so easy to add it. Like, it seems like any time of year you can go and swim with the whale sharks.
Yeah. But there are some conspiracy theories in the area as well. So because it never rains here, there's a conspiracy that the US government in the towers control the weather. Because also on the very few occasions when it does rain, on the radar around the towers is completely clear where the rain is everywhere else. But in reality, it's probably because the towers are emitting. What am I trying to say?
Yeah, they're sending the signal out. Jamming the weather radar.
But it's just such a young history for a town that's now really well known as a tourist place, and a complete 180 pivot of what it was to what it is now. But what a dream. Bit of history, bit of beauty, all of my favourite things.
So the company has a plane that flies overhead, and what they do is scout for whale sharks and then let the captain of the ship know, in our case Captain Tomo, who will then get us into position to drop off the back of the boat. They drop us off in front of the whale shark, and then the guide will put us into a line. What we have to do then is wait for the whale shark to swim past us, and then as they do, we're able to swim with the whale shark for as long as the whale shark wants to hang around for. It's absolutely spectacular. Don't think the videos do it justice, but absolutely worth getting out to.
About to leave, already packing, come with me, I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions, we'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow, we can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's go.
So whale sharks are a slow-moving, filter-feeding species, which means we're never in any risk at all. These aren't great white sharks that are out to bite our limbs off or anything like that. They're only able to be seen in a very few spots in the world, which makes Exmouth particularly special, given its availability to us in Australia and its close proximity to shore and to facilities. Makes it absolutely worth getting out to and seeing for yourself. Cannot speak highly enough of it.
Get a load of this sexy little shake your tail feather. Where are you going this morning, Tyler James Sims?
Gonna go look for some crayfish.
Going on a cray hunt.
I'm scared.
Absolutely, look at him with his Kevlar gloves off. Good morning, it is our last day of camping. We're going to start the long trek to Broome tomorrow. I'm going to stay here and do some reading and some work. It's a bit fresh. I'm just going to have some time myself. Got our little setup. Gorgeous morning. Finished my coffee. We stink because there's no showers here after the whaleshark diving yesterday, but we're happy. We'll see what Tyler brings us. You're a good in.
Third one. I hunted him for a while. Pulled an antenna off.
Yep.
Would be from my fingertip up to here.
Good grief.
The cray was like this big, I saw it. It was massive. It was under a big ledge. It just disappeared.
Oh.
Absolute monster. All day out snorkeling, come back with this beast. Whoa. For context, I've got a massive arm. What have we got here?
Very crispy, sandy, itchy hair. That needs a little rinse.
Am I washing your hair?
I think that'd be a little bit too romantic, don't you think?
Yeah, we're not down for that. It's
a little too
romantic
much.
enough.
I just need to rinse it, but I thought to preserve fresh drinking water,
We'll use one.
I'll use one because it's the same colour as my hair.
Yeah.
That I would use this, our washing up bucket, with a little bit of water. I won't even use that much. So maybe 250 mils. And then just rinse it over my head and then put a stack of conditioner in it. I was just up all night itching my head because I haven't washed it in like 2-3 days or had any fresh water through it. So I'm just gonna have a princess moment by attempting this. Could be a disaster. Listen, we've all got our line. Happy not to shower, happy to sleep in a swag, love all that life. But itchy, rotten hair is my line. All right, let's do it.
What are we gonna do to how are we going to respond to all the commenters when we get the inevitable questions about putting bad chemicals in the environment?
I've got my shampoo from when we were on the boat, which is ocean friendly.
Oh,
This is conditioner. This one. Oh, yeah. Looking, smelling, feeling like $1 million.
the $1 million bucks.
Get out of here. Who have you got yourself, buddy, caught up with? This gal.
Make sure you don't include the line.
Correct. I know the line. Like Johnny Cash, I walk it.
Jesus.
And that's all for another episode of Never Not Sailing. I caught my second cray. We got to see the whale sharks in Exmouth, and we had a grand old time camping and having fun out at Ned's campground there in the Cape, the National Park. So please tune in next week as we get on the road and we head up to Broome and get ready for our Gibb River Road expedition. We've got the store on Shopify, so please click the link below if you would like any of our merchandise. And please, the subscribes are so important to us. Please click the subscribe button, click that like button, leave a comment, and let us know what you're all about. And remember, we'll see you again next week on Never Not Sailing.